Harvard scholar Cass R. Sunstein proposed the concept of information cocoon in his book Infotopia: How Many Minds Produce. When facing numerous information online, people tend to see only what they want to see, and the algorithm will select their preferred information to them, which ends up narrowing down their horizon just like a silkworm making a cocoon for itself. COVID-19 makes us more dependent on social media for information in lockdown, reinforcing the information cocoon that envelops us. The information cocoon can divide social groups and increase political, class, and racial issues. So as an experimental communicator, I think the effect of the information cocoon on people may be a two-way street. This also means ordinary people have difficulty communicating their views to the public in a normal way. In Unit 4 New Genres, I try to find a new model of communication to break the cocoon of information for communicators. Based on the new genres methodology and practice model, I first build the anti-model, the opposite of the basic model. What builds the information cocoon and prevents the normal communication of information? For a social media, the most important KPIs are the number of users, the length of time users stay, and the interaction data of users. In order to improve these data, social media will develop AI algorithm to recommend the content that can attract the audience's attention. So the dissemination of information on social media is actually done by AI recommendation algorithms. The algorithm focuses only on the attention of users, which constitutes the first barrier of the information cocoon. Of course, there may be more will behind these AI algorithms to manipulate the spread of information. For example, the GameStop stock incident. In the face of capital interests, the freedom of speech of ordinary people can be ignored. In fact, in the face of Facebook's interests, the freedom of speech of the Australian news media and government can be denied. The capital group behind social media is monopolizing social resources and communication channels through technology, thus practicing information slavery for us ordinary people. So capital interests constitute the second barrier of the information cocoon. There may be a stronger will behind the interests of capital. For example, in the Chinese social media and the US social media, which give different positions on the same political issues. In the face of national political interests, capital behind social media also chooses to cooperate with so-called political propaganda, or face anti-monopoly or national information security censorship. In some special cases, capital interests can also influence political interests. For example, Twitter blocked Trump's private account. So essentially this will has exceeded the reach of ordinary people, and also constitutes the third barrier of the information cocoon. After the analysis of the information cocoon barriers, I tried to build the basic model, an example of a possibility to break the information cocoon. The first is the analysis of the social media environment. Here take TikTok for example: fragmentation, decentralization, sensory stimulation, altruism and entertainment are the characteristics of TikTok's communication. The weight of user interaction indicators determines the basic communication logic of TikTok, including number of likes, comments, forwarding and video completion rate. Then start the account model design. I will use the first test case to demonstrate. The first step is exploration. This includes strengths, interests, needs and pain points. I have 6 years of experience studying abroad. I am very interested in the topic of international education. The international education market in China has a very large volume, but due to problems such as information mismatch about education, students have to pay a high price to get a quality education product. That's why this test account is centered on the topic of international education. The second step is definition. This includes targets, motivations and benefits. My target audience is the group of students and parents with international education needs. They usually have a strong desire to learn relevant information. I want to break the information mismatch through my content distribution, to allow students who do not have sufficient budget to experience quality educational products. The third step is deconstruction. This includes the product, service, pain point mitigation, benefits and costs. What I can offer to my audience is the service of educational consulting. It can help students in need to get the most accurate information about education. Of course, as a